Well, first of all, I will say that as a visual and oral kind of experience, it was great. I really enjoyed it, particularly in IMAX. I think that watching it in non-IMAX might take away from the spectacle of it a bit, but at IMAX, it's overwhelming and kind of hypnotic. A lot of the imagery in this movie, and it really exists as a sensory experience more than anything. That's the main reason why I'd recommend it.
That sounds like the Attack of the Clones defense.
Yeah, I didn't find those movies sensory experiences like this one. This one's hypnotic at times in kind of like a Michael Mann kind of way, which Star Wars wasn't.
No, but I mean, that sounds like that's just the defense a lot of us gave of the prequels. But this film's important for one reason and one reason only. And I think I realized that this week. We need movie stars. We need them more than ever. So it's good that Tom Cruise can still open a movie. And I don't care what, regardless of what you say, I'm noticing that we're going through a period now where our movie stars don't matter. And I was thinking about this a lot this week. I'm glad that Tom Cruise can open a movie, whether it's here or overseas, wherever. I'm glad. I hope Brad Pitt can do it with World War Z. I hope Will Smith can do it with After Earth, and Leonardo DiCaprio can do it with The Great Gatsby, and Matt Damon with Elysium, and so forth. Because earlier this year we saw people that used to be movie stars open movies, and they couldn't open them. Schwarzenegger, Stallone, Willis. None of those guys could do it. Tom Cruise could do it. And
so why are you saying we need them? Just for financial?
No, we need them because we need movie stars, not just for the glamour, but we need them to give us a sense that this is why, whether it's, Tom Cruise or it's Brad Pitt or Leonardo DiCaprio, we need them to make us want to go to the movie. We do like these guys. Maybe, just people needed something to go see, something good, and escape, and Oblivion was probably the perfect escape after the week that this country just had.
I think audiences are lukewarm on it. But.
They're lukewarm on it, but there's another movie we haven't talked about that opened the week before that I finally got to see, and that's 42. And speaking of movie stars, that has one of our favorite actors in it, Harrison Ford, and he gives a really great performance. Probably the best performance he's given in a very long time.
I think when it comes to what the tone that the country wants, it's I see it more in 42 in terms of that movie's popularity. Because Oblivion it's not an incredibly warm movie. A lot of people find it slow and hard to grasp. But it is
the wonder
amazing.
With special effects.
It's
the wonder with special effects. That's giving the movie way too much credit. It's not a great movie, but I'm looking at the movie from a different angle, not just the movie star. I just think it's kind of important now that these big movies do well, because if the big movies do well, that gives the smaller movies a shot too. It's like I'm going on this whole algorithm that Roland presented a couple of years ago, and I'm not crazy about this movie or the host but it's just good that people are going out to the movies, because it just means that they'll go out and see more, hopefully.
We do need movie stars more than ever. I think the reason for this is because movies essentially should be about people, and if we don't have sort of people that we want to see on screen, if we lose that kind of movie stars give us some kind of perspective on on the kind of on the people that we want to hold ourselves up to, and the people that we want to see perform and so forth. And if there are no movie stars, then we have no perspective on an important part of the art of movies, which is acting. So if everybody's just interchangeable flesh and there's no movie stars up there to hang on to, if you don't really care about the performers on the screen, what's the real reason of going into the movie anyway?
Well,
is it all just about learning what happens in a story or whatever? Yeah, stories are great and everything, but stories aren't the only thing we get out of movies. We get an insight into people and behavior and so forth. If behavior isn't like really essayed by people who are really, really professional and really in demand because they're professional and proficient in that art, then what's the point?
Well, no, there is a point. Look, we're talking about a movie star who 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, with Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, basically the headline was Tom Cruise saved Hollywood, saved movie going, because people were going out in droves to see it. And that story stuck with me. I thought he did a great job, a much better job than anyone will give him credit for as Jack Reacher. I really hope they'll make more.
I actually saw this week. I saw this week, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope people will give. I hope they'll make another one. But I regardless of all the criticism against him playing the character, I thought he did a really great job. I'm not Tom Cruise's biggest fan, but I think something happened with Collateral that I really began to admire him and the choices that he was making. I'm just glad to see that a guy, an actor, can open up a movie. Since the last couple of years, the narrative has been, oh, movie stars don't matter. No, they matter. They will always matter.
Well, I agree.
From a financial standpoint, I do think that movie stars matter for a big tentpole movie like this internationally.
Yeah.
I think it's becoming less and less relevant in the States.
Well,
but Tom Cruise is a huge star still internationally.
Well, that's an important thing, and that's an interesting thing you bring up, because obviously China is the final frontier.
Yeah, and Oblivion hasn't even opened up there yet.
Yeah,
and
but I mean,
it's already $150 million worldwide.
But I think this is interesting because, like 10 years ago, if we had this conversation, like a movie like this wouldn't have done well. Our comedies or sci-fi, our comic book movies were not international movies by any stretch of the imagination. They did not translate well. Forget the comedies kind of translated well, but the comic book films, forget it.